Margot, I'm about to interview the New Zealand Tourism Minister. It's good news we've heard today that that country will now be reopening to Australians sooner than expected.
Well, it's great news. And look, I heartily congratulate the New Zealand government for coming at it earlier than expected. I think, from an Australian-New Zealand perspective, there'll be a lot of visiting friends and family both ways, probably a little more New Zealand, Australia, maybe a little bit more leisure tourism, Australia, New Zealand. But it's also about business travel. We need to get those business communities back together. And to a degree, there is an element about international travellers too, who view Australia, New Zealand as a long haul leap. And if they're coming to this part of the world, they're doing both parts of the world. So until New Zealand opens, there's a certain high yield part of our market that's not coming down under, whether it's us or them.
So, Maggie, since the international borders have been opened again, what are we seeing in terms of demand, in terms of incoming travellers? Has there been a big spike or has it been slow going?
Look, to be honest with you, at this point in time, we are still looking at mainly visiting friends and relatives. Bookings via the travel agents, etc., and the major platforms will tell you that there's interest, but it's really in the second half of this year. Part of that may be people sort of getting used to the process of travel again and just letting things settle a bit. But there is interest. But you've got to look at the numbers. The number of arrivals in January 2020, I think it was about 2.2 million, including returning Aussies and internationals. And at the moment, it's only something over 200,000. So there's quite a bit of growth left in the marketplace for us to get back to where we need to be.
And do you think that Australians are keen to get back overseas? I think Bali's reopening again soon. Or do you think that we will continue to holiday at home for a little bit longer?
I think it depends upon the age group and the demographic. I think perhaps some older Australians are going to make the choice to see more of Australia while they figure out how things like travel insurance will work for them when they go overseas. But there's no doubt there is massive demand. I mean, when Jetstar reopened to Bali, they had something like 40,000 bookings in a 24-hour period. Now, that's the biggest single day they've had in 5 years. So that includes the pre-pandemic period. So there's certainly a hunger to travel. And I think, from the industry's perspective, great, because essentially we're losing $4 billion a month while we don't have international visitors.
Margie Osmond, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much.